writer of The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and Zodiac, James Vanderbilt, has come out with a movie about the Nuremberg trials. I've not seen a trailer or poster before actually watching the movie, so I didn't think this had a lot of pull to it. I thought this was just another random 40s World War II movie, and obviously I thought it was based on the Nuremberg trials, which it is. And I didn't really expect anything. I didn't know any big name actors were in this. I didn't know it was gonna pull the crowd that it actually did when I got to the theater. I showed up like the second the movie started, which is pretty rare, but I thought the theater was gonna be completely empty. It was just gonna be me, my buddy, and maybe like two older couples. But it was completely sold out on a well, it was like 2 p.m., 2:30 or something like that. I can't remember. I couldn't believe it because who the fuck is going to the movies at 2 for Nuremberg when there's like Predator came out this week. You know what? That's kind of it. Grand Prix of Europe, Christie. Christie's been doing horribly, but you get my point. I didn't think people were gonna see this. I didn't know Rami Malek was in this. I didn't know Russell Crowe was in this. Michael Shannon, uh, Colin Hanks. Who else is in this? Those are the big names I remember. And I get it. You got all these big names, and they're very popular nowadays, like Russell Crowe and Rami Malek, especially. And I heard the trailer was god awful. Before doing this review, which is unfortunate because I don't think the movie is too bad. But surprisingly, with how much I loved Zodiac and how much I sort of like the Amazing Spider-Man one, I thought the writing in this was going to be a lot better, and this mostly falls towards Zodiac's fault, I guess. But eh, the writing is really just okay. And while I know Zodiac kind of has similar problems, I don't know why this movie doesn't take itself as seriously as it should. And I understand maybe it's because they're doing it from the uh, Douglas Kelly point of view, so maybe the way he viewed things was just not as serious as the other people, considering he was trying to write a book out of it, which he ended up doing, obviously. But uh, every like cut in this movie, while there were some really great transitions, the dialogue transitions in this movie are like so corny and goofbally that doesn't fit the vibes at all. I mean, the Nuremberg trials are like one of the most important things to happen in the in humankind. And the way this movie takes it all is sort of like a joke is kind of ridiculous. Every single transition being like, there. What's a dumb example I could do? Uh, Someone would be like, they can think they're winning, but they're not going to win. And then it'll transition to some general or someone going, "We're not going to win." And it's like trying to be so funny, and it just doesn't work. There are a lot of good, funny moments in this movie, but unfortunately, there's too many, and the majority of them don't work, and they fall really flat, which is such a shame. I really expected more from someone who wrote for Zodiac, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I don't know, maybe take this movie more seriously. I don't know. The other problem I have with this movie, easily, the pacing. Pacing is way too bad. I mean, it's 2.5 hours, and considering we're only watching the point of view of America, essentially, why is it 2.5 hours? This could have been easily cut down to 2 hours. And I understand they're trying to tell the hidden hero story of Douglas Kelly and everything he did, but does it really justify this being 2.5 hours? A lot of his stuff on the side is just kind of whatever. The stuff with him and the girl, I didn't really care about. It just didn't work. Even like the stuff he does where he tells her everything and she does a newspaper article on it because she's a writer. Eh, it just adds more like shit I just don't care about. I would have just cared if we just got straight to the trial, instead of him flirting with a woman and just telling her everything that she wants to know because he finds her hot, which was whatever. I think it added probably like 20 to 25 minutes, which cuts down the movie to 2 hours, which would have been lovely. I don't know. It was just a lot of the writing in this movie just whatever. But in all, I think the movie's actually pretty great. I think it looks good. People are saying this feels like a TV movie. I don't get that. I thought this actually looked like a movie I'd see in a theater, and it looked really good. I thought a lot of the camera shots were really nice. The cinematography is very great in this movie. I think the lighting, thankfully, is not shit at all. I like these historical pieces in cinema looking good. They should be they should look good, especially for something like as big as the Nuremberg trials. I think it should look really good, and I'm happy this movie didn't fail on that aspect at least. Um, I think the best part about this movie is easily the performances out of everybody. Every single person gives an amazing performance in this movie. Russell Crowe is great as Goring. Uh, Rami Malek is great as Douglas Kelly, though I do think he oversells too many scenes. But I think it's fine because overall his performance was fantastic. I really like him. I mean, Rami Malek is like just so lovable, so it's hard not to like him. I'm trying to remember Rami Malek's buddy, who I just can't remember the name of for some reason. Was also pretty great. I wish he had more screen time. I feel like every time he was on screen and telling his story, or especially the 10-minute segment where he's telling his story about his past, I thought that was really great. Uh, and I liked his emotional side. I wish we saw more of that. Instead, we just got like a few scenes where he's translating. And that's it. I don't know. It's okay. I think he was. I think he was pretty good. But I think the best performance in this movie easily was Michael Shannon. Every time Michael Shannon is on screen, every time he's saying a word to you, it's like your eyes just focus and your brain just locks in for every time he's on screen. He feels like he has so much power, and it feels like he's actually the oh man, I'm not gonna remember his name. Jackson. I don't remember his full name, but he actually felt like Jackson. So that was nice. I think Michael Shannon gave easily the best performance. I don't think there was a single other character in this movie where when they popped up on screen, my brain was just like, oh, I cannot stop listening to him. If this whole movie was just a Michael Shannon movie instead, I probably would have liked it way more than I did. To be honest, I think he is so great, and a lot of his writing is good, even though his character falls a lot into the problem with the weird transitions, which sucks because, like I said, I really didn't like them. They're just too goofy for this type of movie. But I get it. I understand it. You need a movie to get people in the theaters, and a lot of people don't want to watch a documentary about Nuremberg. A lot of people don't want to watch a serious movie about Nuremberg, even though Oppenheimer was a bit like not fully tonally serious. But even then, people were there for Oppenheimer, and they were expecting something more serious, especially since it's Christopher Nolan. And I think they could have done that with Nuremberg. They could have calmed down a lot on the goofiness and up the seriousness a lot. Or if they're gonna add the 30 minutes, maybe show us the French. Maybe show us more of the British that we didn't get. Maybe show us uh anybody. Maybe more of the Germans. I wouldn't have minded that either. Just any of them. If we got more of them, I would have been fine. I mean, what there's six six people who are on the trial, like this six main important people. We could have got more of them instead of the stuff with Rami Malek and the girl, or a bunch of the little goofy sidelines, or even the stuff with the mother and daughter. But I think that it all worked. I think the mother daughter stuff worked out fine, so it's okay. But I'm not sure. I'm kind of disappointed in this movie. I feel like the first half of it is pretty mid, and the second half picks it up a lot. I mean, like I said, every scene after the especially after the talk with Rami Malek and the Detroit Tigers guy, every scene after that is just like brilliant. The stuff with the Holocaust clips, which was unreal. I'm happy this movie was able to use actual Holocaust clips. I thought that was amazing. It freaked out a lot of people in my theater, which I liked. That's happened in real life. That's what you gotta witness it. I mean, I'm sure most of them seen it as they were growing up in history, but it's nice to see it in a film. It's nice to see it in film, especially a movie as big as this one. Um, really appreciate the Holocaust stuff. The whole trial scene was amazing. Every single part of the trial was great, and it's kind of why I wish more of this movie was on the trials and less about Douglas Kelly. But maybe I just need to find a movie that's about the Nuremberg trials and not see a hidden hero instead. I'm giving Nuremberg a 6 out of 10. Like I said, the first half really falls flat. I mean, it was kind of unenjoyable, and a lot of the goofy stuff does happen in the first half, and the second half really picks it up a lot. Like I said, this movie's also a bit too long. If this movie was 2 hours, it'd probably be a 7 or an 8, but it's not. And if more of this movie took itself seriously, like that second half, or some of the scenes with Douglas Kelly and or Rami Malek and Russell Crowe, I would have been fine with that too. But unfortunately, this movie does it takes a lot of the bad stuff too far and a lot of the good stuff not far enough. So while I could rate this lower, I did enjoy this, and I wouldn't mind seeing it again if someone wanted me to see it. But I wouldn't go out of my way to see it, so I am giving this a nice 6 out of 10. If you haven't seen Nuremberg, it's long as fuck, and surprisingly, a lot of people are going to see it, so maybe you should check it out too.